Greetings, people of the world, people of the internet. Welcome to Scenes from the Lighthouse. If you are new here, welcome. For those who've been following the video log series, thank you for joining me once again. And for those who know me from my Twitch streams and YouTube videos, I am A1 Major. But for this video series, I like to keep it personal and casual, so you can just call me Anthony. So this is the last part of the retrospective reflection, and it's pretty much mixing what I wrote in what I said in the last two videos. So it's life of the unknown, expanding comfort zones, and how life with panic disorder meshes with all that. So I used to write a lot, but I don't anymore. But a lot of the pieces that I used to write, I was very proud of. But those ideals and mindsets and experiences, everything's changed. But it's a good snapshot into my mind at that moment in time. But for the piece that I read out in the first part, unlike a lot of other pieces I've written, this one still resonates with me, and it's something I strive towards, and I don't think that it requires great effort or is out of reach. When you go about doing things in life, you need to accept the fact that there are going to be things in the way. The wording in the way it sounds is things in the way. It sounds like it's things you would not want to do or things you wish to avoid. While that can be true, it's not necessarily the case for everyone. Things in the way, those could be great things. And I have it in the back of my mind that I can remain doing the same thing. And while routine for me is great, it also at the same time can lose its charm. So the unknown. So I explained my life with panic disorder to try and give it a bit of an idea of what the unknown is like for me. As I've been explaining through these videos, that I've been on a positive kick. And if anything was getting in the way of that or was hampering that vibe, I promised myself that I wouldn't keep it around. Especially if I could help it, I would get rid of it. This meant people in my life, and some of those people I would keep around on pure obligation. But overall, if I did not feel right about it, I would sever ties with them because I just didn't think it was worth my time. I was also thinking how I was getting older, and the perception of time was knocking on the door of my mind. That time is going to end at some point for everyone, and we're not going to live forever. So I can't devote my time to people who won't give it back. So that, in line with the whole idea of being independent, meant that I had more clarity on what I was after. So I was on a positive vibe, and this was around the end of 2016. And because I was on such a positive vibe, there was a point at which I stopped trying to change what I was doing, and I was just riding the wave. And because I was riding the wave, there was really no change. It meant there was all positive. There was no negativity, which eventually means that there's no balance. So during that time, I started to feel less bubbly, less motivated. I started questioning my life again, what my purpose is. There has to be something more than this. I can't just keep doing the same thing. There was a number of factors at play, and before I knew it, it blew up in my face, and I had a panic attack. But usually in those situations, like post panic attack, so after it's done, I'm enlightened, which creates a new path that shows me what I need to do and where to go. And if it's in my control, I'll head down that path. But if it's out of my control, then that can be quite scary at first to accept that it's out of my control. So depending on the situation, it's all about breaking comfort zones and expanding my horizons. This pretty much came before starting a new job because it's unknown. It might be trivial to some people, but for me it isn't always simple. I wanted to make sure I ended up at the right location. I didn't want to be late. I was hoping there would be suitable parking. Driving is fairly new to me at this point. So a lot of things built up, and obviously the attack struck me at a time that was inconvenient, as panic attacks always do. It was Bestie 2's birthday celebration at a restaurant, so I've experienced attacks in a similar setting, so I was able to keep it under wraps somewhat. I'm afraid of the unknown, but I don't know many people who aren't. I try not to let it stop me. The only thing is sometimes I have to go through build-up of emotion and anxiety. Although the disorder is random, being in a heightened state of anxiety can trigger a panic attack. It's not a nice feeling to go through, and having your mind take small things and make them feel like it's the end of the world, it's not nice. People have asked me, why would you put yourself through it if you knew you could have a panic attack? And for me, the outcome at the end outweighs how I feel leading up to whatever it is that is at the edge of my comfort zone. I know simply that once I step into that particular unknown, it will no longer be unknown. And slowly, my comfort zone starts to expand. There are so many things out there that I want to do, because the more I experience, the less I have to worry about these things. So it essentially kills two birds with one stone. I feel like people might say comfort zone is something that is small. It could be related to a bed in the bedroom of their house. So if they need downtime, they just grab a book, sit on their bed, chill out for a while, without having to be bothered by any outside distractions. I feel like comfort zone can be expanded, and for someone like me who has a lot of situations that can possibly trigger panic attacks, I feel like I have to force it through and go through a lot of negative emotions and distressing feelings to be able to create a better environment for myself. In a strange way, having panic disorder keeps me in check, because if I don't actively keep my mind in balance and just ride a positive wave through a whole year, I will have a massive attack and it will balance itself out eventually. Good or bad, it will work itself out. So that's the only thing I forgot during the whole of 2016, because I said I wasn't going to let anything negative get in the way. And I don't think I let myself experience the bad or let myself go in regards to expressing negative emotion. So even feeling bad about certain things or giving myself a chance to feel a wide array of emotions. So that's why it built up the way it did. It was pretty messy attack, and Bestie 2 even knew something was up, and so gave me a nod at the table that we were sitting, and that's when I knew that she knew. So yes, the unknown. So it's better not to have that assumption in your head that it's going to be bad. Problem is, it depends on what kind of roadblocks you have, and in my mind it almost feels like I'm at the mercy of panic disorder. Thinking about it now, because I'm explaining it, feels like a moot point. During the actual attack itself, it feels like the world is going to end. It honestly feels like that, and nothing can top the power of the mind. Right now, I think about it and say, Anthony, stop overreacting. That's the way it goes when it's a disorder. Anything is better than, but even with that, anything is better than being stuck in one place forever. So much to experience in life, unknown or not. It can be difficult. People like their little cube, being nestled, things going great, oblivious to the outside world. I used to think the way I was fed information in school was that I'd get a job and be in it for the rest of my life. For a long time I was convinced of this. It was the way we were brought up in school. That would be the be all and end all. You get an education so that you can learn the ins and outs of that specific subject, go to university, build on top of that foundation you already have, find work experience, get a job, more importantly a career, so that you are there and everything goes well. Boom, financial security, yeehaw. This is only one extreme. When I started to get into the workforce, I started to realize, depending on what it was, you could easily get into a comfort zone. And for me, if I did the same thing over and over, I'm sure I'd get bored. But that's it. That concludes this entry and the entire video series for vlog number 3. If you have any comments, please send them my way. If you have any discussions, I'd be happy to discuss it with you, even about any of the other previous ones that I've posted. I'm all ears, and I will get through to all the comments. You know, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and more content is coming, so if you want to be ready for that, subscribe to the channel. Anyway, the scenes from the lighthouse. I'm Anthony. Peace.